Ladies and gentlemen, the first man to build 21-inch biceps, drug-free.
You know, my friends, it's a very funny thing. I always talk about it because I want you all to know I'm into the head. The head fascinates me. Not your head, not only your head, but mine. What propels you? What makes you do what you want to do? Now, here I am. My friends, it's 4:30 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday morning. And what is Leroy doing? He's sitting up here making a video in his office. Now, why am I making this video, my friends? Because I couldn't sleep. My goddamn mind just turns and turns and turns. And you know, you hear all these tales about guys getting my age, they just want to lay down and watch the grass grow. And me, I'm worse than ever because I focus on my mind more now than I did when I was running my store in Sherman Oaks, California. Because I had a million things to do, ordering and inventory and things. I didn't have the time to just let the brain work. So I'm making this video because I get these emails all the time asking about high tension, low tension, so forth and so on. Okay, God, I can't answer them all. So earlier today, Saturday, I was talking to my good friend Joe Nemick. Now, the reason I like Joe so, we've been close for over 8 years, is because he's a digger. He's always looking for more information. And you know what? I'm the guy 8 years ago when I first met him. He came in the store, he was befuddled, he was training, he wasn't gaining. And he figured he'd come in, he didn't even know me, and see what I knew. And I took to him. We started talking, and we got in the conversation about the body. I told him what he should do, and I watched him progress from there. So when we were talking today, we were talking about high tension training, high intensity training, and low intensity training. And you know, I said, well, he says, you know, Leroy, I don't know. He says, I'm trying to train harder now. He said, so I do 10 sets of curls before I rest. I said, what are you talking about? He says, well, he says, you know, after a workout, I'm just totally, after doing my arms, I'm totally exhausted. I says, well, that should be why. He says, well, he said, I use one dumbbell, 50-pound dumbbell. He says, I do 10 reps to the right arm, 10 reps to the left rest arm, and I'm back and forth and back and forth. And I don't stop until I do 10 sets. He said, and I'm totally exhausted. I said, now, Joe, let me explain to you really what high tension and low tension means. He said, well, you know, you always told me the more you can concentrate your effort, the faster you grow. I said, yes, Joe, but within limits. I said, Joe, we talked about this. Your body talks to you, Joe. You gotta listen. I said, you don't give yourself enough time, Joe, between sets. I said, you do your right arm, your left arm. Then you do your right arm, your left arm. I said, now then you start feeling your respiration growing. I said, then you gotta level off. Don't level off, Joe, to the point that you're right back where you start, but level off enough so that your respiration lowers so that the body can pick up properly. I said, now what you're doing is counterproductive because you're wearing yourself out. He said, you know, I never thought of that. He said, I was just wondering why. I said, Joe, here's something, Joe. The body talks to you. And I've always said, listen. Now, the difference between Joe and me, I was training before he was born. I went through all this stuff. I know what it is and how the body responds. He's experimenting. And that's one of the reasons why I have these videos. I make these videos. to help you guys to don't have to travel that load. Now, as long as Joe and I have been working together, he lost that concept of the intensity. Now, when we talk about intensity, we talk about how much work you can do in the shortest period of time with the proper rest. Now, work itself built the body. The best built men in the world be guys digging ditches. The reason why they don't, it's not concentrated. So what you have to do on high intensity, low intensity, and then you get these guys hollering about intensity. You got to be very careful on intensity, my friends, because you can tense yourself out of town. You have to tune in on the body and do moderate. Now, we used to call what you call super speeds when we were younger. That means we would do curls. Like say we're doing a set of curls. We try to see how many good curls we can do, 10 sets, and how much time it takes. We used to measure it. It was very exciting because the more you can compact and work in the shortest period of time is what explodes the muscles to grow. The body says, oh, but if you do too much, the body can't handle it. And instead of progressing, you go backward. A lot of guys don't understand that. That's why I'm here, my friends. I'm not here. Don't ever look on a Leroy video looking for me to tell you how to do 5 sets of this, 6 sets of that, 7 sets of this. Hey, you got 101 guys out there saying that I'm goddamn slightest idea what they're talking about. Have no idea how the body works, the composition of the body, how the up and down work. They don't know. All they know is that you don't know, because if you knew, you wouldn't be listening to them. Now, because Joe and I, we talk for hours. I enjoyed talking to him because he's inquisitive. Now, see, I thought I knew. You can't tell me nothing about vitamins and all that. I know more, but he hit me in on certain aspects of vitamins and the kind of concept, and that the more you take, the better you are, in the sense that the body works with vitamins. It doesn't work with drugs. And he told me about this young girl that I found fascinating, because I didn't know about it, that was very, very ill. She had the doctors didn't know what it was. She was like wasting away, a little kid. And you know what fascinated me? I was listening to actual fascination, because I'm fascinated with nutrition. I've had all I know about, as I said before, nobody can tell me anything about bodybuilding, lifting weights. Nobody. I don't give a hell who you are. Now you can tell me about flipping and flopping and gymnastics and all that stuff, because I'm not into that, but not bodybuilding. And he fascinated me, because you know what? I'm in the why business. Since I was a kid, I want to know why. So Joe told me about this young girl that the doctors gave her up. And she went to the nutritionist. Don't take a vitamin. Nutritionist says, I think you have a B complex deficiency. Come to find out, she had no B. The B1 was a vitamin that her body was craving. But the doctors have no idea, because you know, last thing they look at is nutrition. They'll look at a bottle of gasoline before they look at nutrition. He gave the kid the vitamin, and she blossomed like a new cherry. And I was fascinated. I said, boy, so much to learn. The nutrition it just amazes me. So I went on to nutrition only to say how the body varies and how you must maximize nutrition. Don't ever worry about overdosing on nutrition. Worry about when that doctor starts making out that prescription. That's when you got to worry. But in any case, when it comes to the intensity, I want you to understand something, my friends. Work intensity based on the heart rhythm. In other words, don't go to your next set out of breath. That's counterproductive. Don't go to your next set completely rested either. That's counterproductive. Go to your next set when you're still revved, but not over revved, where you Don't do your next set with you. Nuh-uh. Wait until you come down from, and then you're leveling off a note. Then you go to your next set. I always recommend never rest more than a minute. Never rest. That's my recommendation. Because the body comes down too low, and then you got to stir it up again. You don't want to stir up, my friends. You want to continue your continuity, but not dropping down and stirring up. So when it comes to high intensity simply means you increase the intensity of the work in a short period of time. Now, I knew guys that you call very low intensity used to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You don't build huge muscles doing that. We used to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 1, 2, 3. We never did that. And the body responds accordingly. So that's my case. Make sure, my friends, that you don't rest until you completely come down, and you don't go back to your routine while you're still out of breath. That's the key to high and low intensity when it comes to training. Now, you can moderate it according. Some guys come back in 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Some guys need more. But do not rest to the point that your intensity is down completely. So, my friends, that's my little run on intensity. And it's not that complex. To be, now, see, now I say a lot of you guys know me, but most people don't. But I always leave you with, to be continued.
Wait a minute. Before you click away, I want you to subscribe, like, comment, hell, even dislike if you want to. At least do something before you get out of here.